Welcome to your pick a pile video. This is just a general reading and you have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. If you've already picked your pile, go ahead and go to your timestamp and I'll see you in your reading. This is your first pick a pile. What you're going to do is you're going to pause the video. You're going to look at the 3 piles and decide which one calls to you, and then you're going to go to that timestamp below and you're going to go with the corresponding timestamp. So go ahead and pause the video and pick your pile and I'll see you at your reading. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. If you picked the lovely amethyst cluster here, this is a stone. Yeah, okay, we'll just go that way. This is a stone for to help clean house. It has protective energy. It helps to open your intuition and heighten your psychic abilities. So this is like one of those good stones where if you're just trying to get a fresh start, or if you're trying to reconnect with yourself, that's what it's good for. So maybe to carry that forward with you as we get into this reading, or maybe it's something you know you already need. So let's go ahead and jump into your reading, pile 1. Let's start with you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And we have your 7 of Wands here. And with the 7 of Wands, so I also want to point out, okay, in the specific deck, there's a bat in the 7 of Wands, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But with the 7 of Wands, this is about you needing to have the need to like stand up for yourself, to put yourself in a place where your actions are actually doing what you say you're going to do. And it's a place where you often feel defensive, but we no longer need to be defensive, because now that the 7 of Wands is in its reverse position, it's us saying, hey, people are actually listening to us, people are taking us seriously, people see that our actions are actually, that we're following through with our actions, and that's what we're going with. So when I have the 7 of Wands in its reverse position, people are listening. You no longer have to be defensive. You no longer have to, you know, shout or scream or fight or whatever. People are seeing what you're doing and they're listening. I mentioned I wanted to talk about the bat though, because the thing about bats is they often signify death and rebirth, or a change of perspective. So when the bat's upright, you know, everyone's looking at it and it's not in its natural, you know, normal state. When it's in its reverse position with this card, it's actually in the state where that's closer to it being in a calm and more restive state. So I think that's a really cool thing about this card as well, is that with the 7 of Wands here, not only are you, you know, not having to speak as loudly or fight as loudly, but you're also getting close to being back into that calm, relaxed state, which is natural for you. So that's a good thing to see, pile 1. What is the root of the issue? We have the 4 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. So 4. The root of the issue is a square. Let's talk about Pentacles real quick. Pentacles are not just about our finances. It's about time, energy, and health, because you spend time, you spend energy. Hopefully we're not spending health. So when I have the 4 of Pentacles, I have that you're holding closely to your heart, your time, and your energy, and your wealth, which is okay to do. And this card too, this card really likes to do the death and rebirth thing. There's 2 moths down here. And I want to point out that they're just kind of chilling. And when I see the 4 of Pentacles in its, you know, normal tarot setting, it's one of those things that's a reminder that yes, your time and energy is precious, but we don't need to hold on to it. We can let some of it go. We can share some of it. And the reason why I point out the moths is because the moths are also a transformation type of spirit animal. And when I see that instead of just like holding on to it, maybe we need to transform. Maybe we need to do something with our time, energy, or money in a transformative way that helps us to grow, because Pentacles is that earth energy. So when I have Pentacles, I know that we're working with earth, and earth is something that we have to plant seeds and we have to allow things to germinate in their own time. So maybe consider that, you know, while you know, don't want to release your hard-earned time and resources, maybe you do need to, in some way, give some of it away for your own self-growth and development. And then we have the 4 of Swords, and this little bear is just tired. Like, look at him. I kind of feel bad for him. He's a little wounded. He's tired. He's taking a nap. And you know what? That's important too. So swords are about our mind, our intellect, our thought, our mental ability. Words today. Yeah, communication. That's another thing that swords are. It's about communication. And when I see the 4 of Swords, I see that we need to give ourselves the ability to actively rest. What do I mean about actively rest? I mean literally just sitting, doing nothing on the couch and not thinking about the fact that you have to pay bills, that argument you had with your husband, the fact that your child is, driving you nuts, the fact that, you have all these things in your head that are keeping you from wanting to actively rest. And when we actively rest, we just shut down our brain, and we tell it, hey, I need to rest. I need chill. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe you need a journal. Maybe you need to do whatever you need to give yourself permission to actively rest. Don't worry about the bills. Don't worry about your in-laws. Don't worry about your mom and dad. Don't worry about your sister. Don't worry about your best friend. Rest. Chill your head down and give it a chance to just shush. Because right now, that's what we're asking for. What's holding us back is the Two of Pentacles reversed and the King of Wands. So let's talk about the Two of Pentacles first. Because when I see the Two of Pentacles, there's always a need for balance. There's always a need for grounding, especially when it's in its reverse position. We are putting way too much energy into something or another and not enough energy into something. So that could be work-life balance. Maybe you're putting too much time and energy into work and not enough time into your home life. Or maybe it's the opposite. We're putting too much time into home and we're not putting enough time into work, and that's affecting us in a financial way. Are you putting too much time in, the shiny object syndrome, where you're just chasing after dopamine, chasing after the fun thing, trying to get to the next, easy out that's going to help you get whatever it is that you're looking for. Whatever you're doing, we need to ground ourselves and we need to find that balance. We need to find the ability to stay, okay, I'm going to do, half of my time in this and half my time in this, and that's okay. It doesn't even have to be half and half. It could be like a quarter and a quarter. Whatever it is, we need to find that balance. We really need to get into that grounding energy. And then we have the King of Wands. So interesting that the King of Wands is holding us back, because the King of Wands is that figure that knows how to get things done. He finds himself looking and wanting to just do things and then does it. Doesn't even think twice about it. It's just an active leader. People naturally look up to him because of the things that they do. Now, this King of Wands, if you've been with me for a little bit, the court cards are always you first and then maybe someone else later once I do the full story. So when I see the King of Wands, I see that you are doing the things that you want to do. You're getting the things done. You're leaning into that passion. You're leaning into that action desire. But with the Two of Pentacles being next to us here about what's holding us back, I feel like we're leaning too much into something. And again, back to that grounding. Like, we are just so into that passion, that fire, that action, desire to create, to do, to go, and to do things that we are neglecting something else. That is a beautiful hawk. Okay, I don't know if that was a message for someone, but there was a hawk that just flew really low across my window, and they don't normally fly that low. And so if you would have anything to do with hawks, or you need a hawk, or a hawk, it's always asking you to look at the wider spectrum, to not get so narrow-minded. So maybe right now you're being really narrow-minded and focused on something as the King of Wands, and you need to broaden your perspective. Sorry, that was a very ADHD moment, but I've never seen a hawk that close to this window. Okay, advice/grounding. We have the Emperor and we have the Magician. I want to talk about the Magician first, though, because the Magician has all the tools, has all the resources, has all the knowledge, has all the time, has whatever they need to create whatever they need to create. The Magician, when in its upright position, though, needs to have the confidence to believe in himself. So the Magician is one of those things where you literally have everything you need. You don't need more than what you already have. It's just about actually starting, actually doing. And a lot of times when we start something or do something, we doubt ourselves, or we get so into it that we get aggravated that we're not perfect. And without knowing the full story right now, I feel like when I see the Magician, we need to remember that part of doing is learning. And I feel like we're forgetting that learning right now. We also have the Emperor as our help/grounding. Emperor, being the masculine archetype of the tarot here, is one of those things where it's a reminder that you need to have structure. You need to have, structure, but you also need to have like logic, reasoning. If you look, that's actually really cool. I never paid attention to that. This Emperor is standing on each of the 4 elements, one paw on each element, or one hoof on each element. So the Emperor is, standing grounded in all the elements, not in one or just the other, has all 4 elements working for it. When I see the Emperor, it's one of those reminders that you have to think about things in a logical and analytical way. You have to give things the time and energy that they need to be able to see what's the most efficient way that you can go about doing things. The Emperor is all about efficiency, likes structure, likes logic, likes to have everything neat and packed up in its boxes. And sometimes there's a time for that, and other times there's not. Right now, it seems like there needs to be a time for label structures and just some type of organization. I'm not saying we have to be overly organized, but I'm saying we need to have some organization. Our next steps card is the Ten of Pentacles in its reverse position. So the Ten of Pentacles in its upright position is one of those, you have abundance, you have security, you have family, you have people all around you, you have everything that you need. And when it's in its reverse position, you still have that. You still have the full totality of earth energy. But in its reverse position, there's something that's bothering you. There's something that's off. You're not completely happy. Think of it as, you have a beautiful garden and there's just like this ivy that keeps popping up. And instead of taking care of the roots, you're just, pulling the ivy at the stem. When really you need to get down to the root. You need to get to whatever is bothering you. Whatever part of your time and energy is being, I don't know if it's being taken away from you, or if you're giving something into your energy, or if there's even something you want to give energy to and you're not giving energy to it. Whatever it is in its reverse position, you still have all these things, but there's something that's missing. There's something that it's not being fulfilled, and you feel it. And again, you're instead of just, working with the root of it, we're just working on the surface. We need to get to the root of whatever that is. Our internal influences is the Page of Cups. That's a pretty neat thing to see in that spot because pages, are all about new things. They're all about new experiences, about being different. Cups, clearly about, it has 3 hearts on its shirt. It's clearly about the heart space. Don't know if the number 3 is important for everyone, but there could be something there as well. But when I see the Page of Cups in its internal position, it's a reminder to enjoy and have fun with the things that are new and exciting. Lean into that because the page just wants to experience things for experiences. And if we're experiencing our emotions just to experience our emotions, there's a lot, A, that we can learn from that, and B, there's a lot to that. Just giving into those emotions, just giving into those experiences allows you to be able to, have the youthfulness of whatever you're doing and carry it forward into, whatever's going forward. And we have our way to our possible outcome. We have the Page of Pentacles to the 5 of Cups reversed. So let's talk about our Page of Pentacles here. Pages in the earth energy, they are scholars, they're learning, they're, trying to figure out how to apply knowledge and to put it into something new. When I see the Page of Pentacles, I see that we're not just studying to learn, we're studying to do something, whether that be learning how to cook, whether that be learning a new trade, whether that be learning whatever it is. You're not just learning to obtain knowledge. Again, you're learning to be able to grow, to create, and do something. We're back to that earth energy. And so when we're new at something, first we do have to learn, and then we have to practice bit by bit. It's not something we can do all at once. Which then our possible outcome, 5 of Cups reversed. Now, yes, a lot of people would think that this is a negative outcome, but honestly, there's beauty in this because when I see the 5 of Cups reversed, it's always about grief. And the only way you can get through grief is by working through your grief. So when I see the 5 of Cups, I see that, especially in its reverse position, that we're not focusing on that grief anymore, that we've actually worked through it and that we're letting it go and we're able to get into a new phase. And that's a beautiful thing to see. That's actually a beautiful outcome to have because whatever you're going through, pile 1, if there is some part of you that is grieving anything, it doesn't have to necessarily be a death of a loss or loss of a loved one. It could be anything. Grief happens for multiple different reasons. Acknowledge that you're grieving and go on with it and say, okay, I'm working through it, and then be proud of yourself for the progress that you've made. Because grief is not an easy thing to work around. So the fact that you've made progress and that you've worked through it is a beautiful thing to see. I'm actually going to pull another card to see about that 5 of Cups to see if there's another possible outcome. Oh, okay. So at the bottom of the deck is the 2 of Swords in its upright position. So that just means that's the underlying of this reading outside of the root of the issue. So we do have a decision that needs to be made. And maybe that can also be part of what the 5 of Cups gets. I know I normally do full story, but I really want just one other card to go with that Five of Cups. Oop. All right. Oh, okay. So the other card's going to go with the Five of Cups is the Ten of Cups. And I feel like there's an easy explanation and full story for that. So let me go full story, and then I'll tell you how the Ten of Cups applies, because it all makes sense, especially with the Oracle cards that we have. But full story here. So, Seven of Wands. Let's talk about you. You've been in a place where you feel like you really have been having to fight, really been having to stand for what you believe in, and you're tired of people not listening to you, but you don't understand, and you're kind of being overly defensive because people are listening. You're just so used to being a defensive spot now, you need to understand that you can ease up and let go. You can allow yourself to rest. Give yourself that chance to actively rest and allow yourself to let go of some of the, the time and energy that you've worked really hard for. But now is the time for you to be able to allow yourself to expend it in other ways that are helpful. When we had the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles reversed as what's holding us back, I'll show you the cards again. This is real simple. We are spending our time and energy in whatever it is that we want to spend it in, and it could be something that is helping us. It really 100% could be, but I feel like what we're forgetting here, where the imbalance is we're forgetting the mundane. The bills still need to be paid. Dishes still need to be done. Dogs still need to be walked. Laundry still needs to be done. Like, all those things are things we tend to forget about when we are working to change things or working to do something differently, and we want others to listen to us. Because here's the thing, when I see that we have the Seven of Wands in its reverse position, I understand that this is something that we've been trying to do and that we've been trying to work for, and people haven't been taking us seriously. People are taking you seriously. But in order for you to find that balance that you're trying to find, we really need to lean into structure, lean into organization, give into that divine masculine. I'm not saying for everything. I'm just saying that you need to have some type of structure, some type of organization. Maybe it's a routine that you need. You need something to help you to just get everything a little more even keel, and then we'll find more of a balance. Because this magician right here, you already know you're the magician. You already know you have everything. And I believe you have the confidence. And it's not about you having or not having the confidence, but it's about you still worrying about what other people feel about what your creation is. Just stop. Just create what it is that you want to create. Do what it is that you want to do. Take you seriously, and everyone else will take yourself seriously. And that's what this Ten of Pentacles in its reverse position is talking about right now. This could be easily upright. This could be you and family and everyone happily, but you need to work at that root that I was talking about. And that root is you. We really need to get down to the root and say, hey, it's okay. I'm safe. This is safe. Everything I'm doing is okay. And then you'll be fine. Just take a step back. Remember why you started to do this to begin with, and know that, things are working with you. Things are going with you. Everything is turning and working for you. You've got the Page of Cups in your internal influence, which is beautiful to see. You know that, you're enjoying whatever you're doing. You're really having fun with it, and go with it. I get that you're learning something, and what you're learning is a beautiful thing, because you're learning how to do something that's going to change your life in a positive way. And that's what this Five of Cups in its reverse position is about. This is saying that you're changing your life in a positive way, and that's going to get you to your Ten of Cups, which is your happily ever after. This isn't right away. This isn't an alternative ending. This is where you're heading. This is what you're going to be looking for. This is that dream that you're going after. We have to go through this process, though, in order to get that. So understand that in this reading, I'm not saying that you're going to get your happily ever after soon. I'm saying that you're on your path, you're on your journey to getting that. And that's a beautiful thing to see. And that's what that Five of Cups reverse is saying. Yes, you've worked hard. Yes, you've done a lot. Give yourself the chance to grieve over everything you've done, to realize that you've made all these changes, and just let it go. Let it go, move on, and keep moving forward. Let's get to our Oracle cards. So we have Dancer of Frustration. What I love about this Oracle deck is it's very vague and open-oriented, but it also gets straight to the point. And when I first saw Dancer of Frustration, I myself was frustrated. Not in this reading, but the first time I saw this card in general, because I was like, That doesn't even make sense. Like, how do you dance to frustration? But then I thought about it. You don't dance to frustration. You get your frustration out by dancing. And it's a reminder to literally, when you're in the middle of it, to just get out of yourself. Kind of like what that hawk was telling us about that came through the window. Just allow yourself to stop being so focused on what's in front of you and see the broader picture. And then we also have, it's all good. I mean, that's literally what the card says. It's all good. And then we have abundance. So I feel like for some of you, maybe not all of you, that there might be an endeavor that you've been working towards, or a goal that you might be working towards that is related to finances. And know that you're on the path to that and that it's coming. But also, when you get abundance, you need to look around and see what you're already abundant in too, because you are abundant. And the more you see that you already have, the more that you'll receive. Because the last card is inflow with money. And I'm not going to lie, I was really confused when I saw the overall layout that I had in front of me and how inflow with money worked into this. And when I got to the full story, it clicked. Which is why I always do the cards individually and I'll pull the full story together, because when I got the full story, I realized that whatever it is that you've been working towards, whatever it is, the Four of Pentacles here is telling me that you've worked hard for something. You've worked really hard and you are in a good spot right now and you've done a lot to get there and you've put a lot of time and effort and energy into yourself. And that's a beautiful thing to see. But if we're in flow with money, we're not holding it, we're not strangling it, we're not keeping it close to us. We are actually allowing ourselves to spend a little on ourselves. We're saving a little and we're putting stuff into what is necessary. So inflow with money is just a reminder that your work is paying off, that things are coming to you. So yeah, give yourself a little grace, pile one. Understand that you don't have to keep fighting. Understand that things are working for you. If you have any doubts about it, tell me your doubts in the comments below so we can work through this together. We can talk it out and we can figure out what it is that's still holding you back from that getting closer to that happily ever after. That is your reading, pile one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. And I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile two, to your reading. I want to point out, before I even talk about the crackled quartz here, that you are pile two and your reading starts on 22 minutes and 20 seconds. So if two is a number for you right now, I'd pay attention to that. But also, you picked the pretty crackle quartz. I can't get like a good, darn. Okay, well, it's got a lot of like really pretty cracks. Maybe it's the way I'm holding it. Anywho, so crackle quartz is about releasing emotional blockages. It's really good for enhancing your focus and for balancing and rebalancing, like, you know, your emotional, mental, physical bodies as well. It's one of those things where it's believed that crackle quartz, oh, there's a really pretty rainbow. I really wish I could get you guys to see what I'm saying. Crackle quartz is known to like just help you let the light shine in and what it is that you need to see. Because it itself is cracked, so it's a reminder that, you know, when we crack as well, sometimes light shines through and we are able to heal better. So pile two, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Let's start with you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And here we have the Six of Pentacles in its upright position. I want to point out one thing that you don't know. The Six of Pentacles flew out when I was shuffling your cards, and I wasn't even near done, but like it felt so important that you had the Six of Pentacles. So I don't know why you had the Six of Pentacles, but no, it was a really important card. So if that has anything for you or any message or symbol for you, know that this card flew. Now let's talk about Pentacles. Pentacles are not just about our finances, it's about our time, energy, and health. Spend time, you spend energy, hopefully we're not spending our health. So when I see that you're in a place of the Six of Pentacles, I see that you're either in a receiving place where you're already receiving things from the universe or from somebody, or you're in a place of giving. So what I love about this card, specifically this one, is you can't really tell who's giving, who's receiving, who's helping, who's not. It's assumed that the green witch in the center is the one that's helping the two on the side. But, you know, it could also be looking like they're giving her stuff and she's the one that needs help. Honestly, I love that card for that reason, because the truth is we never really know who needs help. Can I help you, sir? Speaking of help. Hi, this is Squall. I would show him in the camera, but he does not like to be held, and he's going to be just all over your cards if I let him continue to help us in the reading. Bye, Squall. Sorry, bro. Anywho, so when I see the Six of Pentacles, I know that you as a person, or sorry, you in the situation, not as a person, are in a place of giving. And then we have the root of the issue. We have the King of Pentacles in its upright position, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles in its reverse position. Let's talk about the King first in the upright position. So when I see the court cards, first and foremost, I always consider that it's you first, and then when I do the full story, it might be somebody else. So I have here that you are already in a place where you know how to manage your time, your resources, your energy. You know how to get things done in a way that, you know, it has lasting effect. You know how to be efficient in everything that you do. But then I have the Knight of Pentacles here, and Knights like to go, they like to move, they like to do. But Pentacles, being that earth energy, is the only knight that understands that everything has a time, a reason, and a season. So when I see the Knight of Pentacles here, I see in his reverse position, I see that he's either feeling rushed or that somebody's wanting to not have patience about whatever the situation is. So when the Knight of Pentacles is feeling rushed or being impatient, either or, the truth of the matter is the Knight understands that when you plant a seed, you're not going to get a full crop in a week. When I see the Knight of Pentacles reverse, that's what's happening. Either somebody's pushing you to get some results sooner than what they are happening, or you're pushing yourself to say, I want this sooner than what, you know, whatever the time limit or the time frame that things need to be done are in. Words are really hard right now. Whew. But lots of earth energy on what's underneath us. So that's interesting. Actually, your first three cards are all earth energy. And then what's holding us back? More pentacles. We got the Four of Pentacles here, and we got the Star. So let's talk about the Four of Pentacles first. When I see the Four of Pentacles, I see that we've been working hard on something. We've been trying to, you know, save up. We've been trying to create. We've been doing a really good job of just owning ourselves and getting ourselves done. But if you look at this, he's sitting on the box like, this is mine. I don't want to share. I don't want to do anything. And if his pentacles, his energy, his time, and his resources stay in that box, they're never going to get the chance to grow. They're never going to get the chance to develop. They're never going to get the chance to do anything other than stay in that box. So Four of Pentacles is a reminder that, yes, you worked hard for something, that you also need to release a little bit of it, whether that be your time, whether that be your energy, whether that be your resources. You need to give a little bit. You need to, you know, be able to spend what you have, because you deserve to spend a little bit of what you have because you've worked hard for it. But you also need to give yourself the chance to, you know, be with others with your abundance that you also have. Whether that be helping a friend, you know, going to see a family member who lives a little bit farther than you want to, you know, travel to. Do something with your time and energy so that way you're not just holding it all to yourself, because if you hold it all to yourself, it's going to get stagnant, and stagnation is not natural. And in nature, stagnation dies. Then we get to the Star. And the Star is showing me that you've been working towards something for a long time. You have a goal that's been in mind, and you're about halfway there. Why do I say you're about halfway there? Because when I see the Star, it's something that is a dream, a focus, a goal, but it's not one of those things that's going to happen overnight. It's back with this earth energy thing. Things take time. Things have to have their natural reasons, seasons. And when I see the Star, I know it's that there's a goal, a dream, something that you're going after that is obtainable. But right now you're focused on the destination. You're kind of forgetting about the journey. And I'm sure you're tired of hearing, specifically pile 2 right now, because of what I got with your cards right now, that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But literally, if you don't enjoy the journey once you get to the destination, you're going to be burnt out. You're not going to enjoy yourself anyway. So lean into whatever you're doing right now and figure out how to have fun. Because what's above us, the helping cards, is Temperance reversed and the Four of Wands reversed. So let's talk about Temperance reversed. Temperance is knowledge. It's you having worked, learned to do all these things that you want to do, and when you apply it, things aren't working in the way that you want it to work. I like to talk about nursing school because it's an easy example. You can learn everything you ever need to know about being a nurse. None of that matters until you apply the knowledge. When I see Temperance in its reverse position, you're applying that knowledge, but you're finding not everything's as easy as it sounded in the book. Not everything's working out the way it should. And instead of asking, what can I do differently, or what can I learn from this, you're just finding yourself really aggravated, really frustrated, and you're wanting perfection the first go around instead of, leaning into the learning process. Which is kind of what the Four of Wands talks about in its reverse position too. Because when I have the Four of Wands, it's supposed to be a celebration of things coming together, of things working, of, unionship, of partnership. And when I see the Four of Wands in its reverse position, instead of celebrating your achievements, we're just going on to the next thing. Again, we're not enjoying the journey. We're just trying to get to the destination. But you need to celebrate as you go along. Our next steps card is the Page of Cups. So what's interesting about this is pages are always new. Cups are about our emotions. And I see here that our next step is to lean into our new emotions, lean into our new experiences, and see where they can take us. Maybe we do need to, just go into our car and scream for a little bit because we're frustrated. That's okay. You're learning. Maybe you need to find a little bit joy in the matter. Maybe you just need to laugh at yourself. Whatever it is, we need to get past the fact that we're new and just experience and enjoy being new at something. Because the more we experience, the more we enjoy, the more fun we're going to have. Page of Cups is all about artistic expression, about wanting to just enjoy the, joy of creating for the sake of creating. It's, I'm painting to paint. I'm not painting to make a Picasso or, something amazing. You're painting to paint. And you are literally just a little kid with like finger paints and going, this is fun. Like that's the point of the Page of Cups. So when I see this, it's a reminder that we need to get into that expressive state. Our internal influences is the Five of Wands reversed. Five of Wands is all about conflict of action. And look at that cauldron. It's boiling over, literally, because no one can agree on what needs to be done. And if this is what your internal influences is, this is all you. This is all you trying to get everything done in a manner that you think fits, but you're not prioritizing anything. You're trying to do the laundry. You're trying to cook dinner. You're trying to feed the dog. You're trying to, change the baby's diaper and do everything else at the same exact time. And you can't do that. You have to slow down. You have to prioritize. Maybe cooking dinner is priority number one because you need food to feed yourself so that way you can start supporting and doing things for others. Can laundry wait till tomorrow? Because if laundry can wait till tomorrow, let's wait for laundry. Let's change the baby's diaper because that's something that needs to be done too. So we're going to make food and start food, change the baby's diaper, continue to make food. Whatever it is, prioritize your actions so that way you can find things in an easier way to be handled. Because even in its upright position, it's still, the cauldron's boiling over, but it's not such a mess. In its reverse position, it literally looks like it's about to just boil over and spill on the floor, and then their feet are going to get burned, and who wants that? And our way to possible outcome. Our way to is the Ten of Swords in its reverse position, and our possible outcome is the Six of Cups. So let's talk about this Ten of Swords. Because when I see the Ten of Swords, I see an end of a cycle. I see a completion. I see that you are about to close out a chapter of your life that has been uncomfortable, that's not been fun, that's been challenging for you. And why do I say this? Well, first off, swords are about our mentality. Oof, words. Swords are also about communication. This is the second time that words have failed me on communicating, just to make sure I point out that swords are about communication. Swords are about our mentality, or they're about communication, they're about intellect. And it's very visibly that somehow there's 10 swords stabbed in your back. But with that being said, this is one of those where each of those swords represents an anxiety, a despair, a trauma, something that have happened to you. It isn't that you don't know what it is. You already know these things exist, and now you're letting them go. You're getting up and saying, I'm done. I'm not taking these swords with me anymore. I'm going to, continue to be the better me and move on, which is a beautiful thing to see. Because then it leads us to the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups, I normally talk about it being the nostalgic card, and it is a nostalgic card. But in this case, I'm honestly picking up that there's going to be a reunion of sorts, which is another common known meaning for the Six of Cups. But for me, it's what I would like to call the lesser known. Because when I see the Six of Cups, I always think of nostalgia first and then a reunion second, because nostalgia is an easy trap. But if we're getting into a reunion of some sort, it's one of those things where who's ever coming into our life is probably someone that we push out of our life because of whatever these 10 swords are. Not saying that the person that we're reuniting is the one that caused the 10 swords, but sometimes we push away good friends or good family because we're going through something and it's easier just to push them away than just to allow them to help us through whatever it is we're going through. And now I feel like with that 10 of swords being in its reverse position, we're going to find someone come back into our life who was always loving us from a distance, who always was watching us from a distance, ready to take us back with open arms or to help us with open arms with whatever it is that we're going through. Whew. Okay, so pile 2. This is a hefty reading because we have so much earth energy that I need to ground myself. So let's start with you. I think in this reading, you are in both a place of giving and receiving, to be honest, which is a beautiful thing to see with the Six of Pentacles. But I feel like what you're giving is some of your time and energy, and what you're receiving is possibly resources, even finances. And that's not a bad place to be. It's just a place to reminder to be in a place of gratitude. What's underneath us, though, is that we know how to manage what we have. We know how to manage what we're taking with the King of Pentacles, but we're getting really impatient. This isn't someone pushing you. This is you wanting to get farther than what you already are. And you have to remember we have time, seasons, and reasons for a reason. Not that we have to understand it, but that the universe has everything put in a proper place, and we just have to trust it. Just like you're not going to plant a seed and then expect a tree tomorrow, you're not going to be able to expect everything to change overnight. It would be great if everything changed overnight, but that's not, unfortunately, how the world works that we live in. But let's talk about what's holding us back, because there's a real lesson here. So you've done a lot of work to get to where you're at, and that's beautiful, and you should be proud of yourself. But let yourself have fun. Let yourself go out and do things. Let yourself go shop, do whatever, because you're on the journey for a reason. And that's what the star is saying. You're on this journey for a reason. I don't know what your original reason for why you changed, for why you made these decisions, for why you're going the direction that you're going in, but it was for a reason, and you need to get back to the base of that. But you also need to allow yourself to have fun, because these 2 cards just show me that you're really frustrated right now, pile 2. And we're just letting our frustrations get to us. And that's not what you want to do. Frustration, yes, is sometimes part of the process, and you can lean into that frustration to experience it, to acknowledge that that's what you're going through, but you shouldn't stay there. You don't want to stay in that frustration. You just want to understand that it's part of the process, grow and move on from it. Because our next steps is to lean into those emotions, lean into it and just express them. Sing, dance, journal, walk, paint, color, whatever it is you want to do, have an outlet for it. Have an outlet for it, and remember how to have fun. Pile 2, I really want you to tell me what's going on that's just frustrating so much that you're forgetting to be childlike. So maybe we can work through it, because I'm feeling frustrated for you, and I don't like the frustration that I'm feeling, and I want us to get more to that childlike joy. So tell me how I can help you get to that childlike joy. Because right now, your priorities are all over the place. You are frustrated, you're aggravated, and I really feel like if you just took some time to simplify things a bit, to make a list maybe, I'm not sure what you need to do to find peace within your heart, but we need to kind of let the fire just come down a little bit and, just be an even flame. We don't need it to be burning and burning ourselves out. Because if that's what's going to happen, if we don't prioritize, is you're going to burn yourself out. The 5 of Wands is literally the card that's about to say we're on the verge of burnout and we're about to just want to give up. So prioritize, understand that this is not coming with you anymore. This is the only sword you have in this reading, which for me is kind of substantial, because this is a completion card, and the completion is whatever you have going on in your mind, your intellect, your spiritual even body a little bit. It's done. It's over with. So whatever this flight or fight thing that you're going after is, that's causing all this turmoil inside of you, that's wanting you to rush this, that's wanting to get aggravated, that's just wanting to see things through, understand that you're no longer the same person who started this journey, and that whatever barrier or weight, or not even sure what's holding you back, but whatever it is, it's gone, it's over, it's done. And you're going to have something coming back into your life that you missed. And that's a pretty cool thing to see. Let's get into our oracle cards. So past, present, future is actually a cool card that I pulled for you. I'm pulling this one, or I'm showing this one first, because I want to remind you that I've talked about how you need to just kind of put yourself in the now, enjoy the journey. And that part of that past, present, future card is about you compounding all of them into the now. Realize how far you've come and know that you are on your way. You are in your journey. Sacred space is really important here too, because sacred space is a place where you can reflect. Sacred space is a place where you can create. And sacred space is a place where you can allow yourself to let go of some of these aggravations and find peace. We also have the Shaman of Sorrows. So the Shaman of Sorrows is a cool card because it's a reminder that in everything we do, there's going to be change, but there's also wisdom in crying. There's wisdom in releasing. There's wisdom in your emotions. Shamans are all about, connecting with earth, being part of nature. And when I see the Shaman of Sorrows, it's a reminder that just because a part of you is no longer there anymore, whatever that could be, it could be a routine, it could be a job, it could be a friend that you thought that you could trust and you can't. I'm not sure exactly what the sorrow is, but know that there's beauty and strength in it, because your last card is you are epic, and you are epic, pile 2. You have gone through such a major transformation that you don't even realize how far you've come because you've been on it for so long. Again, that earth energy, just the time it's taking is kind of making you feel like it hasn't been important, it hasn't been worth it, and it's been worth it. So lean into it. Give yourself the pat on the back. Give yourself the ability to say, I've done this, I've made it this far, and I'm going to keep doing better and greater things. That is your reading, pile 2. I thank you for making it this far with me. If you'd like a private reading, there's a link in the description below, and I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye, pile 2. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. You picked the Green Aventurine, which I am not getting a good light on these crystals today, which kind of makes me sad because they are so pretty and I don't know why I can't show them well. But Green Aventurine. So this is a stone that is associated with your heart chakra. So it could be that you are needing a little bit of healing right now. It's also known for opportunities and good luck. So maybe that's something that you are jumping into and that you're unaware of, or that you're finding yourself needing. Also, it's one of those things that allows you to just, be in an abundant and reminder to connect with earth energy. So let's go ahead and dive into your reading. Pile 3, this is you, not who you are as a person, just who we are in the situation. And this is the 2 of Daggers. The 2 of Daggers is a reminder that we are being paralyzed by a decision, but that we still need to make a decision. When I see the 2 of Swords, or Daggers as it is in this deck, it's one of those where you're literally stuck between a decision between going to A or B. And it doesn't matter which way you go. You can go to A or B, but we have to make a decision, because not making a decision is also a decision, but it also doesn't, clarify what you're doing moving forward. If you're just standing there doing nothing, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to change, and you're just going to keep getting paralyzed. So at this point, it's literally a reminder to go ahead and make a decision, because here's the truth. If you don't like decision A, you can go to decision B. Might there be a little backtracking that you have to do? Yeah, but you know what? At least you now know what you know. So let's go to what's the root of the issue here. And we have the 5 of Wands and we have the King of Wands, both in their upright position. Let's talk about the King of Wands first, because then we're going to go to the 5 of Wands. So with the King of Wands here, he is a person, and you know about me with the court cards, I always say they're about you first and then someone else later. So with the court cards, I see that you are getting things done. You are very active and happy about what you're doing. You're putting a lot of time and your energy into something, but it's one of those things where you're just doing it because you know it needs to be done. You're doing the work. You are seeing what's around you, what needs to be worked on without even thinking twice about it. You're getting it done. The King of Wands is also a reminder that other people are paying attention to you and they're following suit, which is a beautiful thing to see. You want to be that natural leader. You want to be that person that knows how to, you know, I don't know if I can say get things done one more time, but that's clearly what I'm getting at here. But you know how to, you know, just look around you and fix the issue. You know how to look around you and find a solution. You know how to look around you and, you know, be efficient at it as well. But then I have the Five of Wands here, who's saying that, yeah, you're getting the things that you want to do done, but we are just doing things and we're being chaotic about it. So it's almost like it would be contradictory to have the King of Wands and the Five of Wands in the same position, but it's not, because it's one of those things where you're just doing, and everything you're doing has no structure. And that's what we're lacking right now, is with the King of Wands in its upright position. Yes, you're looking around, you're seeing what needs to be done, but you're not putting any structure to it. You're just getting things done. And it's kind of like you're flying all over the place and you're finishing things that don't make sense in orders that don't have a follow through. And that can cause a lot of confusion and chaos. What is holding us back? We have the Nine of Cups in its reverse position, and we have the Ace of Cups. Again, seems contradictory, but there is a solution for it. Let's talk about your Ace of Cups first. So Ace of Cups, these are always new beginnings. Aces are always about new beginnings. Cups being about emotions in your heart space. So here you're in a place where you're going on some type of new adventure where you are excited, things are working out for you. I don't know if this is a romantic adventure. I don't know if this is just a, like, one of those where you're starting a new job. If you're starting, like, I'm not exactly sure what you're excited about, but you're excited about that you have achieved someplace that is something right for you. It could be that you're in a better environment. It could be that you have a new home. There's a bunch of things that could be, but what we're talking about specifically is that you're in a new emotional place, a new space where you're excited and things are joyful for you, and that's beautiful. And then we have our Nine of Cups reversed here, which is typically you got exactly what you wanted, but when it's in its reverse position, you got what you wanted, but not to the exact that you wanted. You really wanted the shiny red car, but instead it's blue. You really wanted the, you know, 5-bedroom and 3-bathroom house, but instead you got the 4-bathroom, 3-bathroom house. It's one of those things where you got what you wanted, but it's not exactly what you wanted, so you're still a little disappointed. And whenever I see this card, it's one of those things where it's like, I get it, because you've been going after this, you've been wanting it for so long that when you don't get exactly what you want, it does have a deflated thing. And it's not, you know, one of those things where I'm going to tell you you should be happy with what you have, but understand that even though it's not exactly that what you want, there's still a reason for you to be joyous, for you to be happy. And you need to lean into that, you know, Ace of Cups feeling of, hey, I worked hard for what I have and I'm going to enjoy this, instead of focusing on the lack. What's above us is the Four of Wands in its reverse position and the Magician in its reverse position. I want to talk about the Magician in its reverse position first, because the Magician has the ability to create, do whatever it wants to. It has the intellect, it has the resources, it has the machinery, it has the know-how. Literally, it has everything. When it's in its reverse position, though, the Magician likes to find excuses. It likes to say, I don't know enough. I need to learn exactly what I already know to confirm what I know so I can continue to create. Or my tools aren't shiny enough. I need to make them shinier. I need to make them prettier. Or the weather condition's just not perfect. I need the weather to be a little sunnier and a little breezier. Like, you just keep finding reasons for why you're not doing the thing, and they're just excuses. Plain up excuses. And then we got the Four of Wands reversed here. When I see the Four of Wands, I know that this is supposed to be a happy time of union, of celebration, of coming together, of having, you know, just things being solid, a solid foundation. That's what fours are about. And when I see it in its reverse position, For you, it's just another checklist. You're not enjoying it. You're not celebrating it. You're just like, yep, done, and going on to the next thing. And that's not a great place to be. When you have the Four of Wands in its reverse position, you need to allow yourself to celebrate whatever it is that you did to achieve to where you are right now. Let's not lean into the minor disappointments. Let's lean into the joy. Let's lean into the activity. Let's lean into whatever it is that you're doing, because what you're doing, you want to do, but we're just focusing on the lack right now. What next steps? We got Justice. This is our next steps in its upright position. When I see Justice in its upright position, I know that whatever seemed unfair, whatever didn't work out, things are going to even out. And that's a great thing to see. Justice always has a way in its upright position of evening things out and making things fair and equal for everybody. Justice doesn't play games, though. It goes by whatever the rules are. So it's one of those things where you might have to wait a little bit to have everything work out in the fair way that you need it to be. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means it might take some time. And then we have our internal influences, which is the Six of Daggers or Six of Swords. So with the Six of Swords, this is our transition card. This is a reminder that you are not going to stay where you are. I always like to say that the head has to follow, the head makes the transition, the heart has to follow. Reason why this is important is because it's really easy for us to change our mind, to make our mind, and to believe in whatever it is we're going after. But sometimes the heart is a little slower to catch up, because the heart's the one that carries all the emotions, all the feelings, all the just, whatever garbage baggage it's still dealing with. It needs to work through that. But if our head knows, hey, we're safe, if our head knows, hey, we're no longer that person, if our head knows, hey, we've made it to where we're going, the heart's going to catch up. So just know that whatever this transition is, keep working through it, you're going to get it. And then we have our way to our possible outcome, which is kind of ironic because our way to is the Knight of Crystals or Pentacles to the Queen of Crystals. So let's get to crystals. Being Pentacles suit, I need to make my little caveat here that it's not just about finances, it's about time, energy, and health. Spend time, spend energy, hopefully we're not spending our health. So our way to being the Knight of Crystals is a reminder that everything has its reason, seasons, and time. So Knights like to go. They like to do. Crystals, also known as Pentacles, that earth energy literally is earth. So earth understands that everything has to have its seasons. Everything has its time. Everything has its place. We have the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter. At least you do if you live in Kentucky. Weird versions of it, but still, we have seasons. And so this Knight understands that things take time and it doesn't like to be rushed. Yes, it likes to keep moving, but it likes to move at its own pace and own speed. It doesn't like things to be rushed. It doesn't like to be told it has to go faster. It likes to do things at its speed, which then leads me to the Queen of Crystals. And this is you being in a very amazing place of knowing how to manage your time, knowing how to manage your resources, knowing how to put yourself in a place where you can share with others. You're in a place of abundance. You have everything you need, and you also are very nurturing in what you're doing. Why am I mentioning the nurturing? Because this is the divine feminine of the earth energy. And when you think of the divine feminine of earth energy, you think of growth, you think of nurture, you think of, caring for others and those around you. I'm not saying you're going to give away everything you have, but if the cup overfloweth, you can give a little to, those around you. And that's a beautiful thing to see. So now that we did all the cards individually, let's pull full story together, pile 3, because you got some stuff going on. So we are at an impasse of decision. You need to make a decision. And here's the thing. I think your heart's already made the decision. I think your head just needs to catch up with it. Because I can't get around the fact that we have all this fire underneath us. You're doing things, you're working towards it, but you're not prioritizing your actions. And that's what's causing this confusion. If we can prioritize our actions, if we can just kind of center things and be, in the moment now, I feel like you'll realize what exactly it is that you're wanting to decide, and you'll realize that you've already made the decision. I feel like you think you haven't made a decision, but you really have. Because what's holding us back is that we had some really cool experiences that we're excited about, but it's just not the way we wanted it. We wanted it a little different. We wanted it a little better. You know, we have this union that we should be excited about, but things just aren't shiny enough. They're not new enough. I want to reconfirm what I already know. Just stop and just go forward. You already made the decision. I'm like 99% sure, pile 3. This decision's already been made. I think you're just afraid of the decision that you've made. Because here's the thing. Justice here is telling me that everything's going to work itself out. I don't care what your decision is. It's going to be fair. It's going to be right. And you're going to do the right thing. So normally I would only say you've made the decision when the 2 of Swords is in its reverse position. But it's in its upright position, which means I don't think you consciously know you've made the decision. I think you've unconsciously made the decision and you're just resisting. So let's stop resisting. Let's put ourselves in the moment and let's get connected with our heart. Because if we can get connected with our heart, we will find that things are already like there for us. We already have everything we need. We just need to be happy. We need to see it for what it is. Because the 6 of Daggers here is a reminder that, again, some part of you already has made the decision. Something's already made the changeover. It's already there. The rest of you just needs to catch up. Because our way to our possible outcome is literally the Knight to the Queen. Come on, Knight to the Queen. The Knight is just saying we're going in the direction that we need to go. We're getting what we need to get. And the Queen's like, hey, I got everything I want. And that's an amazing thing to see. So what's holding you back, pile 3? Let me know in the comments. What decision do you think you still haven't made that you've already made? And tell me the situation and maybe I can help you point out, hey, you've already made the decision. Because right now I see that we are not seeing it. Let's look to our oracle cards. We have Ancestor of Guidance. So this is a cool card because this is a reminder that, you know, sometimes the matter is just going inside with yourself and, you know, honestly, like listening to your higher self, listening to your past loved ones, whatever it is, going inside of yourself and just finding the answers on the inside. Ancestor of Guidance could also just be someone who's actually still alive. That could be grandma. It could be an aunt or somebody. Ask their advice. It just, for once in your life, let others kind of help you out. All right, our next 2 cards. We have Struggle and Home. I'm going to put these cards together because I see right now that you're struggling to go up current, okay? Yes, I know the salmon goes upstream to its birth spot all the time. But here's the thing. Right now, I feel like you're struggling to find home in yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean, I feel like the answer is, again, already there. You're just really struggling with the information that's coming to you. You're really not wanting to see it for what it is. You know, the salmon struggles to go up the stream because it knows that where it's going to lay its eggs is the safest. It doesn't doubt what it's doing. It knows what it's doing, and it goes after it. And with the oracle card there also of home, that's a reminder that you're in a safe space, that there's a lot of things that are already there that are abundant for you. So when I see this, it's one of those where, again, the answers are there. It's just a matter of trusting and knowing what's around you. And last but not least, we have ambush your fears with your ferocious dreams. What I love about this card is it's an elephant. And elephants are like the most peaceful, gentle creatures out there, but also like if an elephant's charging at you, you're going to freaking get out of the way. And this is a reminder that whatever it is that is keeping you from believing that you can do what you're trying to do, for accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish, that's keeping you from enjoying whatever it is you're meant to enjoy, just be the elephant and say, get out. I want to be me. I want to enjoy me. This is my dream. This is what I've been working for. And this is amazing. So, you know, every once in a while, you have to charge your fears with your ambitious dreams because your dreams are worth it. That's your reading, pile 3. Thank you for sticking out this far. If you want a reading with me, there is a link in the description below. And I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye, pile 3.